Welcome to the Plant-Based Podcast. Did you know that plants are truly amazing? Not only can you grow them and eat them, you can also wear them, drink them, nourish your skin with them, and so much more. Let Ellen and Michael inspire you to love plants as much as they do, as they chat with the movers and shakers in this wonderful plant-based world. So, let's dig in.
Hello, we're British Garden Centres, the largest garden centre group in the UK with 72 garden centres. From Highlygate Garden Centre in Northumberland to Havant Garden Centre in Portsmouth and Carmarthen Garden Centre in South Wales and everywhere in between. We are so excited to be the sponsor of Series 18 of the Plant-Based Podcast. We are also celebrating our 35th birthday this year as British Garden Centres was launched in 1990 in Woodthorpe, Lincolnshire by two brothers, Charles and Robert Stubbs. They started by selling hedge cuttings outside their family home and have now recently opened their 72nd garden centre in Northampton. We aim to provide you with great plants and gardening products at affordable prices with a first-class service delivered by a passionate team. Follow us on our journey on social media at British Garden Centres and find us online at britishgardencentres.com, where you can also shop online and get 10% off with the code PLANTS10. Let's keep Britain growing. Code expires on the 30th of June and gives 10% off everything excluding clearance and gift cards.
Big 5-0 soon, isn't it?
Oh!
Yeah,
3 years, yeah. 3 years, Lee. 3 years.
Despite being the oldest in the room today, Ellen, you're not doing the intro. It's me. So
Yeah. Okay.
strap in. All right. Hey guys, as we kick off Series 18, we're actually beginning it with a bit of a gardening legend. He'll be so happy we said that. And a good friend of the podcast too. He started his working life as an electrician, and now, via the Blue Peter Garden, he is a government-recognised ambassador for children's gardening in the UK. So welcome to the podcast, Skinny Jean Gardener Lee Connolly.
Oh, no. Yeah, it should be like a round of applause. I like that. Thanks, Ellen.
We can get our editor to put that in.
We should have a big round of applause right here inserted for Lee.
Honestly, I feel like, do you know on Sunday brunch they get like different coloured mugs whenever they come on the show? I feel like this is about my 16th time on this show, so I feel like I should get like a golden mug.
That's
maybe.
a compliment, yeah. Jeez, man.
We should definitely do that. We should send Lee a little memento for being the most recorded podcast, perhaps.
But that actually says something, because it's not very often we do have a returning guest, but you've always got so many different projects going on, and you've really kind of, come up to speed with a lot of stuff recently, and you're doing cool stuff. So we knew that we had to book you in, and we're recording literally a few days before it goes out because things seem to move so quickly for you. We couldn't record this 2 months in advance because it wouldn't be relevant. So you're going out this Sunday.
Yeah,
I love that. Awesome.
So, we've got a lot to talk. We've got a lot to talk about, Lee. But as with all our guests, we're going to go right back to the start. We want to know what makes Lee Connolly tick. We want to know all about your childhood, and we promise it's not a therapy session unless you want it to be.
I could do with one. If I'm honest with you, I could quite easily do with a therapy session right now. So happily,
that'll be your 17th visit.
What do you want to know from my childhood? Someone else asked me this earlier. Like, what was your childhood like when you? Not my first. When you were gardening when you were a youngster? And I was like, I actually never did any gardening when I was younger. Like I did nothing at all.
A question.
Say again.
That's our question then. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. There you go.
So you really weren't exposed to gardening. What was your childhood garden like? Were your parents gardening? Did they not get you involved at all? Did you even think about gardening or growing or plants?
My dad was horrible, wasn't he? He never let me touch the garden. He's amazing, don't get me wrong. I never did any gardening when I was younger, so I didn't really go out in the garden too much. If we went out to play, we went to like a local woodland or something like that. But our garden at home was very much a garden for looking at, but not touching. And so everything I do now, I suppose I'm trying to balance that out, because I feel like I missed out so much when I was that age. And now I want to do more to make sure that people don't feel that way, because I can see the excitement and the pleasure that children and adults get from growing their own food, or just looking after wildlife, or just cutting the lawn, to be honest with you. He says that as he watches his robot lawnmower doing the lawn right now. But but yeah, I mean, so my childhood had nothing to do with gardening. So I feel like I really missed out on that. But yeah, there we go.
I love that, because you've really thrown yourself into it. But how did it all start? At what point did you go, oh, I actually like gardening, or actually I do want to do, like, how did it begin? We know obviously a little bit about where it started, but tell all of our listeners.
Yeah, so I actually started gardening when I was about 24, 25 years old, and I started an allotment with my brother Dale at the time. He's still my brother. I don't know why I said that at the time. My brother. We still speak to each other. And we wanted to try and do something, because we missed each other, because I moved out of our family home. We missed each other loads. So we wanted to try and come together around something that wasn't just going to the pub together, but actually learning a new subject that we both had no idea about, but we could very slowly learn together. And that sort of is where it began for me and him as well, that we could connect through gardening and learn to grow. And I always make the joke, but it wasn't a joke, that I actually thought that potatoes grew on trees. I had no idea how they were grown. And now my daughter, who is 9, reminds me about that pretty much every day, that I go around telling people this. But it was true. But we had literally zero ideas how plants worked or how things were grown. So yeah, and then after that, the rest is history. Like, I just really got caught up in the whole gardening vibe.
But I wonder, like, just stepping you back a minute, why did you guys choose plants? Because it wasn't really. Was it because it was becoming more popular at the time? Like, how did you? Because it easily could have been snooker or golf. It could have plants?
Been. Yeah. Did I ever tell you that we?
Very left field.
Did I ever tell you that we tried to start the first extreme mini golf team?
No.
Did I tell you that? There's an email somewhere about where we contacted Red Bull. They declined us. This was just before gardening, and we tried to start
So you did consider golf?
A mini golf team. But it was actually by accident that we got into gardening, because Dale got offered a half an allotment. And he just said, do you want to come and give me a hand? And it sort of just went from there, really. So it was down to him and his laziness that he needed someone to come do some hard work. And then that's how we got into it.
And then Skinny Jean Gardeners, you were Skinny Jean Gardeners at the time. You're now Skinny Jean Gardener, and we'll come on to that in a little while. But Skinny Jeans were obviously popular then. They're not now. So if you launch now, you'd be Baggy Jean Gardeners, in case you realise.
No, come on. Skinny jeans are still fashionable.
No, not at all. No.
I don't know.
Maybe for our age range, but yeah. Not generally on the streets. It's baggy. You'd be Baggy Jean Gardeners. Yeah. Which is probably easier to dig in, to be fair.
I'm sorry, but I disagree. I think Lee will always be on trend. Skinny, whatever they are.
I'll be
Ellen, you are. She's always so nice to people, honestly. That's her worst quality.
I'll be proper old, like almost Ellen's age, and I'll still be getting into skinny jeans.
So why Skinny Jean Gardener? Because it's very catchy. It sounds great, and it says exactly what it was as well. How did that name come about?
Oh, I ain't told this story for a while. The reason actually was it was really a simple. It's a simple story, but I love it. Is that we used to be, when I was with Dale, we used to be called something called Brothers That Garden or something like that. Anyway, we went for. Do you remember the Big Allotment Challenge, the TV program? Yeah. I loved that show. They should bring it back so much. I love it so much.
Me too.
Anyway, we went to audition for that, and when we were doing the audition, we were very early on in our gardening career, had no idea what we were doing, but we were like making all these different sort of flower arrangements and messing around. And some runner said to us, they said, "Oh, you should like be called," because we were wearing skinny jeans. You should be called like the skinny jean gardeners. We went to the pub after the audition, thinking we'd definitely got it. Like, this is it. This is big time. And we went, "Oh, that was a blooming good idea, that, wasn't it?" And that's how it started. Just only because we were wearing skinny jeans, but we were like, "Oh, that's a really good." I mean, hopefully that person doesn't come back and try and claim the name now. Or it's too long. It's 12 years ago now, wasn't it? But you know.
I love, Lee, how every time we chat with you, we find out a new little gem that we didn't know about. Like, that's complete news to us. I love that you auditioned for that show. I loved that show. It was brilliant. I can't believe you don't have it anymore.
I know, and I think Rob, what's his surname? Rob
Smith.
I think he was. I can picture him sitting on the sofa when we were in there, didn't know each other at the time. And he went on the show, and I was like, "Oh man, I would have been amazing on that show." I love that. And then to like in my career, like meet like Jim Buttress and people like that were on it, and Jonathan Mosley. I was like, "Oh my god, that's so cool." Anyway, enough fangirling about that show.
That is so awesome. So okay, this is where it kind of started. But what was your first project? Like, what happened next? Where did you start gardening and spreading the word from?
We started, and this is really annoying that I have to even mention in this part of the story, but actually Michael was like, actually Alan, you were part of this story as well. Both of you are part of this story a little bit. We saw Michael more, but you know, we started a garden at Jimmy's farm, like on the allotment, and started to try and create a real nice community area down there and start growing our own food. And I love it that we used to go down there and people who were visiting used to come down. Again, we were very early on in our career, and used to come down and ask us questions, hoping then to get some absolute knowledge. And our faces were just blank because we had no idea what they were asking us. But it was the best learning experience ever, because actually from having those conversations, I learned so much from being down there. Yeah, there was a bit of embarrassment because I had no idea what they were asking me. But after chatting to, like nans and granddads come down, they got like a wealth of knowledge that they can sit and hours chatting to you. So that was an amazing experience. And then of course, Mr. Perry just kept turning up, like annoyingly just kept turning up at the farm.
You told me to.
Yeah, we did invite him a lot. And we always used to call him our seed dealer because he used to always come with seeds.
Yeah.
And then Alan, before we really knew each other, used to send us stuff, didn't you, to promote? But I don't know how much promotion we actually did for you, but we actually used the stuff. None. You're saying none, no promotion?
Do you know what? I can distinctly remember that you done a video. I can't even remember on what platform now. And we're in the bag of stuff I sent you, there was a leaflet that said it was from like Ellen Merry Gardening, da-da-da. And you clearly hadn't, or not you, I think it was Dale who hadn't actually read it before you started filming. So when you were filming, he was like looking at it going, "I think this is Mary. Who is this from?" Gardening. Mary Ellen Gardening. And I was like...
Oh, those are the good old days, weren't they? Like,
you know what? They were the good old days. It was fun. It was really cool.
We had no idea what we were doing on social media and stuff, but it was just beautiful learning it. But anyway, yeah, so you two both had an impact within them few first years of like Jimmy's farm and stuff. And there was an amazing learning experience, which obviously went on to start doing bits with Jamie Oliver. And then we also did bits with Blue Peter, obviously, which...
What's about that then? What's about Jamie Oliver and Blue Peter? You can't just gloss over that bit. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I was just looking for my Blue Peter badge, actually. I don't know where I'll put it.
So those projects.
Yeah, so Jimmy's like mates with Jamie Oliver, for those that don't know. And Jamie used to come down for different bits and stuff. But that is sort of where we got involved with him, because he used to do like he still does obviously do the food education part. So he used to go to schools and do the grow your own bit, and then DJ Barbecue would be cooking some bits up and Jamie would be over there doing some bits as well. So that was really cool to like be part of that without really knowing that is something that I was going to get into more deeply in the future. And then Blue Peter came along, and we were Blue Peter gardeners for a little bit, which is crazy, really, isn't it? But I love talking about it because it was, I mean, Perry, you know what it's like, and Ellen, obviously. Sorry, Ellen. But you're like tree hug. You hug trees now, Ellen, don't you? That's more your thing, isn't it?
What direction are we in here?
Perry hugs like products, and Ellen sort of just hugs trees.
I am an outright tree hugger every day, pretty much. Yeah,
I love it. I still can't do it. I'm not feeling the energy. But anyway, what was I talking about?
I don't know now. One day I'll take you to tree hug with me, and you are absolutely going to feel that energy.
No, I promise you, I've tried it. It's just not. I want to feel it. Like I want to open. I know we're going on a tangent here, I'm sorry, but I want to open myself up to it. But it's just nothing. It's nothing coming from it.
Are you trying too hard? Sometimes you just got to let it go.
Maybe I'll let you know next time.
Anyway, carry on.
But we both, all of us, know what live TV is like, and I used to love that. Like I used to get a real buzz from it, and being able to be on a program that I used to watch when I was younger was so cool. I loved it so much. So it's a really big thing. But the one thing that I always do remember is that at the time I didn't have children myself, so I was sort of giving ideas to parents that I didn't really know would work, which they were great ideas, don't get me wrong. Like they looked beautiful, they were really cool. And I always talk about this wormery that we made out of a chest of drawers was one of the things we did. And I think back now, and I think even now, Olive's 9 years old, she would lose interest so quickly. So I still speak about them being like Pinterest ideas. They look amazing, but actually physically doing it with a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old is impossible. But it was so cool to be part of that and be a Blue Peter gardener, and I built a career off the back of it. So it was awesome, wasn't it?
It's really cool. Sorry, I was just really giggling about the tree hugging there. You were saying before about how you liked like the learning process yourself, but at the end of the day, we learn about gardening all the time. Even now, you know, every single day there's a new bit of knowledge. It's never ever ending. And the lady who has the allotment next to me, even now, after years of gardening and study gardening as well, she still intimidates me a little bit because her knowledge is way beyond. She's been gardening for like 70 years. Do you know what I mean? And it's like that knowledge is incredible. So even I still feel that sometimes.
But also, everyone does everything different. All three of us here will have a different idea of how to do something, and none of us are wrong. It just means that whatever works for us in our own space works for us. Like I heard someone say the other day, there's like 100 different ways you can plant a rose or care for a rose. Like,
true.
So different throughout the entire country, so different per person, so different to people's lives as well. So there's no right or wrong way. It's just how each of us do it.
But yeah, it's so competitive. We're all kind of like, it's always like when someone knows more than you, or people are always like want to test how much you know. And I feel like this only really happens in horticulture in some way. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you're when you're an electrician, were people testing your knowledge? Do you know what I mean?
Very rare.
It's weird. It always happens in horticulture. It's really
very little knowledge. That's why.
I don't know if it's testing. Is it testing your knowledge, or is it asserting their own knowledge because they know that they know about? Do you know what I mean?
It really, you know, I feel it so strongly in horticulture, but I don't see it in other industries, or I can't imagine it in other industries. But it's a strange concept.
Here's the most beautiful thing that I've learned over the years is that actually it's fine to say you don't know, because there's a learning opportunity there. And I spent many years just sort of like trying to get through questions that I thought I should know, but actually not everyone you don't have to know everything. Like it's a learning opportunity. It opens you up to a learning opportunity by saying, do you know what? I'm not sure. If someone asked me about roses, for instance, I couldn't tell you a single thing. I've got some planted. I've got my fingers crossed for them, and we'll see how we get on. But I'm no rose expert. There's different things that you can sort of be niche on, but it opens you up to people being able to give you advice, I think, by saying, no, actually, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. And it shows that you're willing to learn. And I think it sets a good example for new people coming into horticulture as well, for you to say, I don't know, and don't pretend you know it all. Even Monty Dunn does not know it all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, you're right. I was the same thing. What did I say about anything about Monty Dunn?
Can I just say one thing, actually, before Ellen gives us the next question? You know, he does this kind of plant the empty pot trick, yeah? And everyone across social media is like, oh, it's Monty's like plant the empty pot trick. It's not like he's the first person on earth to do that. Like, I've been doing that for about 10 years, but I didn't invent it. Do you know what I mean? The empty pot. You know, when you like make a hole, but you make it the exact size of the pot of the plant you're going to plant in. So you plant the pot empty rather than the plant, and then you can just drop it in. But like people are like, oh, that's Monty's trick. It's like, not at all.
Yeah,
it's my grandpa's trick.
There's no ideas.
No, there's no new ideas. There's new research. There's new science. You know, there's that kind of thing. But there's very rarely new ideas. And I like there's a whole load about that online actually, where people kind of come online and then they're like, wow, there's this new thing. Like this is a gardening hack, and it's like, well, actually, that's been around since I was a kid. But I would never ever say, oh. That's not new, you know, that's been around for like 100 years or something, because you want people to enjoy that. Do you know what I mean? You want them to find that excitement in doing something that's really, really new to them. We interviewed series and series ago a lady called Hannah from Eve's Hill Veg Farm, and she said that, you know, organic gardening became like the new trend, like a new thing. Oh, organic gardening is new, or this is, but organic gardening is the original way. So there isn't anything really new. Do you know what I mean? It's just new research and science maybe that backs it up more, or now we can spread the knowledge more on social media, can't we? So people see it more. Wouldn't have been able to, you know, to communicated those, the ways of gardening before. I just think if people come in and they're excited about gardening in any way, even if they think it's a new idea and it's not, great. Like, just enjoy it. Enjoy the new learning process. Like, we're still learning. You know, I think back to when I first planted my own garden. So the first house we ever bought, and because you keep referencing my age, I'm going to tell you that it was somewhere around about 25 years ago-ish. And I planted the whole front garden up with Leylandii and annuals. And then I wondered why the neighbours complained about the conifers and why all my annuals died. So, you know, we've all been there and done it.
Exactly. Anyway. It's a little bit, just quickly, it's a bit like people saying, oh, it's so amazing what you're doing for children's gardening. Like there's always needs to be someone like that. But actually, like people like Chris Collins has been doing amazing stuff before I came along. Do you know what I mean? And there's so many other people, and there's going to be many more people, hopefully, that are going to be doing more children's gardening stuff. It just means that at the moment, I'm the one waving the flag the highest. But yeah, there you go.
Let's just talk about your project, because you've got something on with Jamie Oliver at the moment, haven't you? What's the project?
Yeah, so Jamie last year started the Good School Food Awards, which looks at trying to find the best within education that are doing great stuff with food. And we started last year, so I'm one of the judges as part of that. And basically, from my side, I'm obviously looking at the grow your own side, so that schools that are growing their own food, but also cooking that up in the kitchen as well, which sometimes it doesn't always happen like that. And obviously for the rest of the judges, they're looking for, I mean, Joe Wicks is looking for the best that do the best within fitness and then also within food for Jamie. So I think that it highlights that sort of competition. It's in its second year now. It highlights the amazing stuff and hopefully inspires other schools to do the same, sort of highlighting what the good practices that are going on. So yeah, it's a really good thing to be part of. And the more schools that we can get connecting that growing your own to the food they're eating at lunchtime, the better. But I did hear a story the other day that a school that I know pretty well who do grow your own. They're using powdered mash. Now, I didn't even know this was still a thing, powdered mash, right? But they grow it. They grow their own potatoes in their own allotment, but they're using powdered mash. I'm like, that doesn't make a sense. So competitions and things like this Jamie Oliver Good School Food Awards can only try and connect the dots between that and show how schools can grow their own food and use it for the kids rather than doing that.
Okay.
Wow, powdered mash. What? This is like going back decades.
Right, it makes no sense.
So Lee, kind of just kind of talking about what you're up to now with kind of kids gardening, because you had that kind of, it felt like you had a really natural pivot in that direction. I feel like that's kind of the best way to kind of have a career, when it naturally goes in a certain direction. I feel that's what you've done with kids gardening. And now working yourself as a skinny jean gardener, you are starting to really get out there. You've spoken to government. You're kind of like really getting some projects on the go. Give us a bit more information about that sort of stuff, because I don't even know what they do in terms of gardening in schools now. Like when I was younger, we had a school garden, but it was only, I don't know, a few random kids that wanted to work on it, if you know what I mean. So kind of what is being done and what is part of your project to improve that, as it were?
Yeah, so it's probably since about 2020. I've been doing children's gardening for a while, since Blue Peter. But in 2020, one thing that I realised, and when I did a UK tour then, was there's such a big difference between schools that have like almost a farm in their back garden. They've got goats, they've got sheep, they've got, not pigs, but they've got a massive allotment. They've got some chickens going on, and then literally 20 minutes down the road, it's a school that's just got tarmac and don't do anything at all. And they're in the same area, the same amount of children, but totally not doing the same thing. And so I think we all know the benefits, the mental health, the physical health benefits of gardening for us as adults, but for children, it's incredible what it does for them. And basically, what we need is to fund and get it into the curriculum and make it part of everyday life. Because someone asked me the other day, what is my actual job? And I think now I've worked out what it is to try.
They ask all of us that.
Says, yeah, I know, right? I think I've hit it though. I've hit the what sums it up.
What is it?
My main goal is to connect parents and children to create memories through gardening. And the school part comes in because there's so many children that don't have a space to grow, don't have parents that do any type of gardening. And so that school is the epicenter that can then branch out to those families to connect them through that space. Maybe they can do some tree hugging if they want as well. That's absolutely fine. But that is where I see the school part. So if we can get teachers supported, if we can get it in the curriculum and make it part of everyday life, we're going to get a healthier generation because they're going to know where their food comes from. They're going to eat more healthy. That can take a lot of strain off of, say, the NHS if it's still about by the time this comes around, and also help with the mental health side as well. Like, I'm not saying it is the answer, but it can definitely help children quite a lot, especially. I'm a governor of a school as well, so I get to see the struggles that schools are going through and what children are going through as well. And so I think having that outdoor learning space can really make a big difference. So, so back to what you asked me, I can't remember what it was now, but basically over the last 2 years, I've been working to try and do that. And we've had a change of government, obviously, in 2024. And since then, we've been having a lot more conversations, full stop, but also a lot more positive conversations around it, probably more than we've ever had in my time within this industry. And yeah, at the moment, we're just trying to make the most of that opportunity and trying to see what we can do. And then also, there's a curriculum review going on as well. So that curriculum review will obviously change exactly what children do within schools, hopefully, for the better. And if we can get our horticultural industry as part of that, then all the better. And also it means that we'll also get more people within our industry leaving school as well, rather than joining after they've had a failed electrical career.
Okay. But but how easy is it to like get up in front of government and talk? Like, how do you even get into that? Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels impossible to many of us.
Yeah, do you know what? And I think you both know how I am. I don't like to give up, so I just keep hammering them over and over again, knocking on doors, keep trying. And it is such a juggle, because obviously I'd love it to be my only job to do, but there's so much other stuff that I do other than that. But it really is just constantly knocking on doors and giving ideas and bringing people together as well. I think sometimes as an industry we can be a little bit fragmented around it. Everyone's got their own ideas. So also, while on top of trying to create those conversations, I'm also trying to get industry to come together so that we're all on the same path. So when it does happen, when we do get the government turn around and go, all right, what we're going to do, we all know what the answer is. So yeah, so that's what I've been up to with that. It's a long one, and my wife said to me the other day, how long do I think it's going to be until we actually get that? And I think Olive will be probably moved out by then and have our own family by the time we actually get to that point. It's a long process, but yeah, we have to keep pushing.
But it's amazing that you're not giving up. That's just, to have that patience to just bust through is incredible, honestly.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you two both know my career, and if I'm honest with you, if when I get to 70 years old, do I want to be known and remembered for jumping around in a gold sparkly jacket? Probably not. But do I want to have some sort of legacy where I have actually impacted the industry and education? Yeah, that's definitely a goal. So yeah, there you go.
Super cool.
Really admire your tenacity with something that's so important. Is there a reason why this is more important now than ever, do you think? What's kind of impacting you to do that? Because you're saying you want people to, create memories in the garden, but also all about growing your own food and everything. Is there a particular reason now is so important?
Within the country, or just for me personally? I
think within the country, or you personally but in general. Everybody's the next session, remember?
Oh yeah, sorry. I think the reason is because schools are really calling out for this, and I think since 2020, when they had to teach outside and they started seeing the benefits of it, they really want that support, and they really want to be able to do that, and they could see there were so many different projects going on back in 5 years ago that they were forced into doing gardening because they had nothing else. They had half a class at the time, and they had to be outside, so they had to do gardening. So they actually saw the positive impact of them children being out there. So when we all come back and we all said, oh, we're all going to change, we're going to go and start seeing people more, we're going to stop watching TV, we're going to stop being on our phones, we're going to spend time with each other, we all lied to ourselves. I know, we all dropped straight back into what we were doing. Of course, there's some little bits, but the same with schools, exactly the same with them. They just went back into what they were doing. And so the biggest thing is that memory of gardening, that memory of what they saw from the children is still there. So it's a big ask that they want to be able to do it, and more and more the children want it as well, and more we're talking about health so much more than we used to, maybe even 10 years ago. It's important that for children now that we teach them this within primary school, so their future looks more bright than what it could be.
Lee, let's just link up tree hugging with education as well. I've got a friend who sent her young son to forest school. It was actually, I think maybe kind of nursery up to a certain age, like 6 or 7, because he's now in school education. But pre that, he went to a forest school. What do you think about that?
I think forest schools are brilliant. I think at the moment what we've got is we've got a lot of not a lot, but we've got a nice percentage of schools that do forest school, and that's another thing that I love to see, because so many times I speak about it with I have parents come, oh, my son, my daughter does forest school, and they love it. The thing is, and I see this when I go to schools, I know the schools that will probably have forest school, and I know the schools that won't, because of the area and the type of school they are. And ideally that forest school would be all over or at every school. But again, it comes down to that funding, doesn't it? And I do think there's some great activities that they do as part of forest school, which I wish I did when I was at school, because I think you can see when I go to those schools, you can see the children like, this is where we have a fire. And I was like, hang on a minute, a fire? They're like, yeah, we have a fire, we have marshmallows over here, this is our den area. And I'm like, wow, this is an amazing activity to have. I just remember back when I was at school that we just had like a little dirty old pond that sometimes we went pond dipping in. And these kids are learning like amazing skills, do you know what I mean? So I do think it's amazing.
Cool. Good. That's all I want to know.
I just want to kind of chip in at that point when kind of age range, because I feel like it's quite easy to do kind of like kids education, like for toddlers, kind of what are we talking, like maybe 3 years old to like 9 years old. But what about kind of like how much of your work and how much of this thinking is maybe for like teenage age, kind of like 12 to 18, because that's about appreciating plants and knowing that they exist, kind of all of the goodness of what plants can do for us. But also, they might want to consider a career in horticulture, which is something that we never shout about. And we never show the breadth of careers that are available in horticulture, you know, and everyone assumes that the only option is landscape gardener. Do you know what I mean? So, like, how do you feel about that with the kind of older kids? Because it's harder to get their attention, but that's the point where they actually might become great ambassadors in our industry and help drive it forward with some entrepreneurial skills, you know?
Yeah, do you know what? I love talking about kids gardening, especially when you always bring up secondary schools, because I think that you're right. I think within secondary schools, it's a great time to then start thinking about career. The problem we've got is, and this is why I'm so into primary schools, is because just like a plant, you need to put in the work beforehand. So you need to have that plant in some good compost, right? So it can grow. Exactly the same as you can't dive in to secondary schools without having that bit before, that primary school bit where they're learning about grow your own, they're learning about wildlife, they're doing that gardening, and then they go into secondary school and then they think about careers. Like, I really think that at the moment we want to jump straight into secondary schools without doing that work beforehand. So if we start in primary schools, then we can build to that. So it's a long process, don't get me wrong. But what we really want is to instill that into children's lives at a very early age. So they're doing throughout that primary school time. They go into secondary school, a lot of distractions, obviously, going on all over the place. But they've got that education beforehand that when they start thinking about careers, it's there. Yeah. It's built inside them. It's part of their life. And then once we've sorted out primary schools and once we've got that start bit, then yeah, of course, then start secondary school and start building on that. But yeah, to be honest with you, I always ask what children want to do when they're older. And at the moment, it's YouTubers, TikTokers. Yeah. There's not many firefighters and policemen anymore, back in our day. But never, like horticulture never comes up onto. No. I mean, so.
Lee, sorry, I have to tell you something. My goddaughter is called Olive, so like your Olive. And my friend sent me a photograph when they're at their end of year. They had to hold up a sign to say what they wanted to be when they were older. And my goddaughter Olive held up a sign and said, a gardener. And I was like, yes, amazing. My job here is done.
Well, that is a big win, honestly. I don't think my Olive would say that, but that is a big win for you.
But I do feel like there's maybe even a gap for someone doing what you do, but maybe for teen years, so like teen gardening, and then also student gardening as well, you know, because that is another point where there's really people representing those kind of niches where we can really educate people and kind of get them at the embryonic stage as well with some of that. So
I think you're right. And do you know one thing, and this is going to come across as rude, so I do apologise to anyone that does this, but at careers fairs, one of the things, my biggest pet peeves is you are up against people wanting to be influencers, influencing them anything. I'll just influence anything. But you're up against that sort of different careers. And if you've just got a stand that has a couple of plants on it, and I just think that sometimes we're not great at like having a big like show. Do you know what I mean? You need a bit of jazz hands with it to sort of bring in these youngsters, especially if you're going in dry. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially if these kids have never done gardening before. We need to be able to show the jazz hands part.
We need some gold sequin jackets. That's clearly what we need.
Perhaps so. It's always there.
It is there. It's behind you. I love that.
Bless. You are epic.
So, Lee, very quickly, what other projects are you? Not that. I mean, that sounded like a lot to me anyway. But you mentioned earlier on that you have other stuff that you do as well. So, what else are you working on, or things that you've got coming up this year?
I think the biggest thing is National Children's Gardening Week. I think that's probably the biggest push. I think that we are getting 10,000 children gardening within that the week just before National Children's Gardening Week, because we want to look at promoting that National Children's Gardening Week to people that wouldn't just walk into garden centres usually. The idea is that we want to get children who might not be doing much throughout half term, it can get expensive, but we have this amazing world outside our back door that we can go and spend time with each other. So we are going to go around the UK visiting all these children, 10,000 children in 1 week, which is I'm currently in between chatting to you and other bits, emailing all of these schools, which is a lovely thing to organise. But yeah, we want to try and get as many children gardening within that week, as many families gardening and spending time with each other. So we, through the National Children's Gardening Week website, we're doing a competition where people can let us know what they're doing and how they're spending time with each other in May.
Who's we, by the way?
Did I say we?
When you say we, you working with some bigger organisations on that?
Oh yeah, thanks. Thanks, Barry. Yeah, so the fabulous, obviously the HGA, they look after the National Children's Gardening Week. We've got the Ecofective as well. You didn't see it, Ellen, but I had a bus with my face on it. Not like a Perry bus, but it was more of a cardboard cutout of one. But Ecofective are sponsoring the tour, which is fantastic. They're an amazing team that they want to do so much good through it. So they're going to be part of it, and obviously I'm going to be filming it and making a documentary through it as well, which is going to be exciting. And the biggest thing we want to do is, because we made a documentary back in 2020, is actually see if there's any difference within those 5 years, if there's any difference between what was going on back then to now, if people's views have changed or where children's have changed as well.
That's really very cool. I'm very envious that you two have both got some kind of cardboard cutout or sculpture or something of your faces. It's probably adorning the walls of horticultural people around the country. Like I used to have Bros on my wall. I reckon people will now have Mr. Plant Geek and Skinny Jean Garden.
What annoys me is when Perry keeps putting up these pictures of him on the side of a lorry, and I'm like, I'm not giving up until I can get my face on a side of a lorry.
I always forget about that. Yeah, that's cool.
I wouldn't. Oh my god! I'd be telling everyone. I'd be like, I've got my face on a lorry.
I'm modest. What can I say? Oh, cool. This is so nice. So nice to talk to you. Such great content. Great work that you're doing. Where can people find out more about you, young Lee?
As always, if you search Skinny Jean Gardener, there's not many of us about. You'll find me.
You can't avoid it.
You can't afford it.
Cool.
Me with his glittery jacket and everything else that comes with Lee.
Yeah.
Remind us
really
when
cool.
when is Children's Gardening Week as well?
Yeah, good question. It starts on Saturday, the 24th of May, and runs through till the 1st of June. So
Wonderful.
it gives, if you go on the Children's Gardening Week website, it gives loads of different ideas of what you can do as a family outside, and also the competition will be live on there in May as well.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thanks for everything you do for school gardening, Lee.
No, I appreciate both of you.
Thank you.
Oh, no worries. See you later.
See you soon. Hello, I can hear you.
Hey, give me half a minute. Hold on. I don't need to put my ears in. Sorry. I'm here. Have you got me?
I've got you, yeah.
I'm a dog in a hot car today. Sorry.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm on my way to Gordale Garden Centre where I was speaking this weekend. As usual, trying to combine everything. So I'm doing this gossip from the podcast to the podcast live from my car. And you know what it's like when you then need to record something, like, because my car always wants to like intercept any Bluetooth. It doesn't trust me to make my own decision with Bluetooth. So it wants to put everything through the speakers, and I'm just like, no. But the only way to avoid it is to shut everything down, including the AC. So now I'm just a dog in a hot car. Because
you have got like
the window,
you have got a coat on. Why don't you take your coat and cap off?
Yeah. I know, that's a complication, I know. I've got the weirdest outfit. And honestly, Ellen, oh my God. I got like, you know, this is that in-between season where you've just got no bloody clue what to wear. Oh my God. So I'm in a winter coat and flip-flops. I look like a surfer.
Do you have
Honestly.
shorts on?
No, I don't, but I did yesterday. It's like, I look really top-heavy. But I got this bloody...
It's true.
My toe is like, oh my God, because I dropped this cabinet on it, and like, I think the regrowth is not really going that well, and this really hurts near the base. So I'm trying to wear open-toed shoes and like wondering how I can make a professional outfit look tomorrow for the weekend, but with open-toe shoes. They need to sell black bandages, don't they?
I know, it's so weird. Like, we always seem to get the same things. I didn't drop anything on mine. I just have an ingrown toenail, but flipping heck, it hurts, doesn't it?
Are you having it cut out or something?
Yeah, I'm going to have to. It's got like a growth over it now. It's disgusting. And I really don't like feet very much. So, ew to that. But,
I had an ingrown toenail when I was like 12 years old or something. Yeah.
Horrible. Are you soaking your toe in some Epsom salts?
Not necessarily Epsom, but salt. Yeah.
Okay, goody.
Yeah,
That's definitely helped mine. Anyway, I'm sure all our listeners don't want to hear about our gruesome toe story.
Well, no, I got one more thing to tell you. I actually, when I was younger, I used to collect a lot of souvenirs. And I remember, quite cool, I'm going to the Isle of Wight again in a few weeks. And I remember having some special woods from the Isle of Wight, some stones, some of that coloured sand as well. And it was around the same time that I had this ingrowing toenail. And also, we got a new dog. And I remember keeping the puppy teeth from the dog. And so I got this whole collection of things. And I found them the other day in a box. And so all these different things from the Isle of Wight, these dog's teeth, and also my ingrown toenail.
That's disgusting.
Well, I kept it. But it's really weird because it's got this little hook on the end. And that was the thing that was ruining my life. Anyway.
You kept your ingrown toenail. That's so weird.
Anyway, more about you.
Can I just say, though, I really loved the little memory then about the coloured sand. Because isn't it funny how if we were going on holiday at all, it would be the Isle of Wight when I was young too. And I had those little bottles of coloured sand in layers and stuff. That's a lovely memory.
I can't do it. I'm speaking at the Isle of Wight Festival. Flower Festival. It's at Northwood House in a couple of weeks. And oh my God, and I booked an extra day and I'm going to like drive around the Isle of Wight, because it used to be when you go on holiday with your parents, you know, when you pick up all the leaflets, and you kind of like Shanklin Chine, it was the Donkey Sanctuary, the Lavender Field. And in those days, I used to love going to little craft things like I'm maybe getting this mixed up with Jersey and Guernsey a bit, but anyway, somewhere that made candles and like, yeah, honestly, so cute. So anyway.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, thank you.
I love that for you. Anyway.
Welcome to Series 18, Ella Mary, with our sponsors, British Garden
I know,
Centres.
how exciting.
Our first
and
episode.
Just before we...
Oh, go for it, Ellen. I know you're power hungry.
Yeah, I sound real power hungry. I just remembered, since we haven't gossiped for a couple of weeks, that I forgot what it's like gossiping with you.
Yeah. What?
Basically, you are
I
like
just had a cappuccino.
Little boy, and you can't. You just all the information comes out. Bam, bam, bam. It's so funny.
That's cute.
It's cute. Anyway, yes, Series 18.
A cappuccino and a cheese sandwich.
Oh, you had coffee.
What about my cappuccino? Thank you. And a cheese sandwich. It was very light on filling, I have to say.
Oh,
honestly. And it felt so light. It was like I was eating air. Isn't bread weird sometimes? Like, it doesn't feel like real food, does it? It's so strange. Anyway, sorry. You do you.
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me about bread. I am in America. The bread is just not that great. Sometimes people say to me, "What do you miss about England?" And the one thing, honestly, is a sandwich.
Yeah.
A really decent sandwich with some thick bread.
Yeah.
Oh, I love how you're not answering it all now.
Yeah. What?
Oh, I think there's suddenly a really big delay between us. So anyway, yes, what I was going to say was we're now.
You're a delay.
Really exciting pre that is that we've hit 1 million downloads. Like, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, well done, Ella Mary.
People download this podcast so they can hear all about our toenails.
Yeah, true. But also Skinny Jean Gardener and his amazing work for kids gardening education in schools, which is super cool. And because he's always so fast moving, we only recorded it literally yesterday when I was in another dog in a hot car situation. And it was really cool. So I think people are going to enjoy listening to that, because it really kind of makes you think about, I don't know, how it wasn't just talking about kids. It was also about how we're out of touch with like nature and kind of seasons and like what food is as well. So it was super interesting. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
It really was. I really love chatting with Lee. He's just so much energy and really doing amazing stuff. That was great. And in this series, like you just said, sponsored by British Garden Centres, I hope everyone's enjoyed even the adverts of British Garden Centre in this episode. I love hearing Eve's voice. So
why is she so cute, honestly?
She's so cute, but also she's brilliant what she does with her social media and content. She's so full of energy. And
she's got a good wave, actually.
Yeah, really, really good. So that's really cool to be working with the team at British Garden Centres. And then in this series, we've got the Happy Pair. So we've got Steve. There's Steve and Dave, but we've got Steve from Happy Pair. That was really cool. That was very cool. Really upbeat about growing and vegetables and plants and community. So really, that's nice. So that's coming up soon. And then we're going to go back to a previous format that we had, which is every other week we're going to do a solo episode as well. So we have joint and then solo. So that's really cool. What's your first solo coming up? Do you know?
I'm going to next week the last standing commercial conifer nursery in the UK, Golden Grove. And I think that's going to be really cool, because conifers, I really hate saying the word revival, but like they need to have some love again, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So I'm going to put my shell stew on and visit that nursery.
Yeah.
And create some cool content to kind of like refresh conifers, etc.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think because people think conifers are like, we were talking about Lelandii in the other episode, weren't we? But it's like, I think that's what people think of conifers. But there's some amazing, beautiful, incredible conifers available.
And very surprising as well.
Yeah, I agree. And the first time I really learned about that was when I went to Bressingham Gardens in Bressingham, which is near Diss in Norfolk. And Adrian Bloom runs Bressingham, and his use of conifers in his planting design is absolutely stunning. He's written books about conifers, and all of them are absolutely brilliant. His knowledge about them are incredible, and he uses them with perennials and trees, and they just look absolutely awesome. So I'm looking forward to hearing
But I think there's even fresher ways to use them as well. And I hadn't realised until talking to Golden Grove at the press event, like how great they are for the environment, like fixing carbon, but also habitats for birds. And there's a lot of good stuff about conifers as to why they're a great thing to have in your garden, and an evergreen, patchwork landscape as well. So very cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did you see any April Fools, Melon?
No, I didn't, because I didn't really look. No, honestly, I didn't really look on April Fool's Day. And also, I think maybe when I'm like 5 hours behind you all. So I think when I got up, they'd all like fast. Do you know what I mean? And that we were on.
Maybe.
Tell me about some you saw.
I really like the Scottsdale Garden Centre's Marshmallow Tree. It's really cool, actually, because it's actually not that far from the truth, because of course marshmallow comes from marshmallow, Althea officinalis, which is a plant like a hollyhock. So but it was kind of in a tree form. It was really cool, but it was an excellent Photoshop job. I loved it. Also, Flymo were releasing a chip fryer, which was cool. Frymo, they were calling it Frymo. That was it. What other ones I liked? There was quite a few this year, and they were quite innovative. And Skinny Jean Gardner did a denim rose. That was cool. I was really jealous about that. Actually. That was really, really well done too. So I think the quality of April Fool, I didn't get round to one this year, but I really wish I had, because it's really something on the map. People put a lot of nice effort into that, and brands and stuff. Oh my God, the other one that really fooled us all in the industry was because they released the news last week, actually, which I think was not the right way to handle an April Fool. But company Hoko Breeding in the Netherlands were releasing a glow-in-the-dark hydrangea. And it was going to be on show at the Flower Trials, which is a big industry event. And even like the industry... someone from the Flower Trials, we were discussing it on email, and we were like, because I'm doing some posting for the Flower Trials, we were like, we'll start off with this amazing hydrangea that the news came through on. So we had no idea. We were literally going to start talking about this plant. Like, you're going to see it in June in the glass houses, la la la. And the guy, and I was like, I messaged him, I was like, I have to work with you on this. It's really exciting. And he completely ghosted me. And I was like, I was a bit disappointed. And then he replied to me on April Fool's Day. He was like, it's an April Fool. And I was like, what the hell? Yeah. But Ellen, it is not that far from the truth, because, oh my God, you have to get one. You're in America, yeah? Obviously.
Yeah.
You need to order the Petunia Fireflies. Do you know it? It's the one that is a glow in the dark. It's had that gene put into it. Petunia Fireflies is available in the US. Try and order some, darling. Please. Also, please.
Okay. I'll do that just for you.
I'll pay for it. Yeah. Petunia Fireflies. Look it up, honestly, because this is it's GMO. So, of course, in UK, we're going to lose our knickers about it. But see what it's like, because it is allowed there, and it's been released, and it's available to the public. It was out last season as well. Petunia Fireflies, I think it is. But also, so then I was like, it's not that far from the truth. So this glow-in-the-dark hydrangea could be true. But also, I don't know if you know an Aralia. There's an Aralia called Sun King that was released maybe about 15 years ago now. And that actually has a type of chlorophyll that holds on to... What's it hold on to? It holds on to something. And then it glows.
Aralia Sun King.
Aralia Sun King. Yeah. And it then holds on to something in a kind of pigment, and then it glows kind of like in the moonlight. So that was always released as a kind of glow in the dark, in inverted commas, plant. So that was really interesting. So glow in the dark hydrangea is not that far from the truth, really. Okay. So,
but you got caught out. I love that. You got caught on an April Fool.
Honestly.
Brilliant.
But try and get this Petunia if you can, Ellen. That would be
okay.
fantastic.
I'm looking at the Petunia. So it's a lovely white Petunia.
Yeah. But it's got this pigment, or
it looks to me like it's the buds that glow in the dark.
Okay.
So when they, I might be wrong, but just from
if it's on the back of it, then I guess the buds would glow, and then you wouldn't see it in the same way when it's open.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
To me, I might be wrong. It's genetically modified plant that emits a soft green glow similar to moonlight in the dark. But the photographs make it look like it's the buds that glow.
Cool. How amazing, Melon.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Cool.
I'm planting everything up on my balcony and a roof terrace to attract monarch butterflies and hummingbirds this year. So
cool.
Going big on nature and wildlife in the city. So we'll see what we can encourage. Yeah.
Oh, and you love a moon.
I love the moon.
You love a moonie.
Hey, when I was younger, I did actually used to do moonies.
Oh my God, Ella Mary. I never ever can decide if you are innocent or an out and out rebel. I really cannot call it. Because you give up so many different signals all the time.
I love winding you up. I absolutely love winding you up about stuff. And I messaged you about the White Lotus exposure.
Oh, we're going there, are we?
I didn't say what. I just said exposure. Like, you're like, oh my God, you're so innocent. Oh my God, like that. And I'm just laughing inside.
Ellen was like, she was like shocked at it. She was like, she was surprised by the size. And I was like, nah.
I was, first of all, surprised that it even happened. I was like, I did not need to see it like a dong at night, just chilling out, watching TV.
Oh, Ellen, honestly. I have to tell you, like I have told you, but I'm going to tell you live again. I'm coming to Carolina, you know.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yay. Well, you're coming to South Carolina.
That was delayed. Yeah. To Charleston, to the Bloom. I'm speaking at the Bloom Parks event.
Yeah.
There's nothing like getting the name of the event right, is there?
Yeah.
The Bloom Park Conservatory is in there somewhere as well. Yeah. It's going to be cool.
That's exciting. And then are you going to come? You're going to come and see us? We're about 3 hours away.
It would be bloody rude if I didn't, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it sure would when you're so close.
Like, I'll stay for a few weeks. Yeah, whatever's good for you, really.
How exciting!
Oh my God, that's gonna be so cool. Will you take me everywhere? Will you be my tour guide?
No, I'm just gonna leave you here sitting on the sofa.
Oh, no way! Oh. Will the Venus flytraps still be showing something? It's second week October.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think we can go and take a look at them. Yeah, definitely. It really depends on the weather a lot. It depends on the weather, but I've been out there probably for, I think like the latest I went was the 1st of November. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice. Thank you. I'm excited for that. I feel amazing.
Oh, I'm so pleased. And you're not sweating at the moment sitting in the car.
No, I'm still a dog in a hot car. I've got no in between. Ella Mary, I've got no in between jackets. I've got really hot or really cold ones. I've got flimsy or like double padded. I've got nothing in between apart from my Dua Lipa, which is a green jacket. What?
Maybe it's time to get an in-between since England has a lot of in-between periods.
I know. Oh, what are you up to today then, Mungbean?
Today I'm actually going to get some tattoos done at a place. Yeah.
That's so naughty.
So naughty, yeah.
Does your mum know?
Adding to the collection. I don't have
your mum knows now.
Isn't that what she does now? If she's listening to this, she will because she'll be able to see them. They're not really hidden. So
you use the podcast as a way of communicating with your mum.
Yeah. And then I just see if she's listened or not.
Yeah. What are you gonna get, Gail? What are you going to get?
I'm getting a daffodil because that's my birth month. I'm getting some stars on my collarbone because the night sky, as you know. And I might add the moon later. And then I'm also getting the word magical on my wrist.
But have you got some like buy 2 get 1 free deal or something?
It's like, actually, it really is. It's like anything up to 3 tattoos up to 3 inches was a deal.
Really? Oh my God! You bought tattoos on a deal. That's so cool.
I've been following them on Instagram for ages, and I really love what they do. They do permanent makeup. Yeah, you can have permanent like eyebrows or lipstick and all those things, but I'm not into any of that. They do fine line tattoos, so yeah, I was like, give it a go. That's that really.
Nice. Well, I might need to go in a minute. I got 12 minutes to get to Goredale Garden Centre. I think I'm in a lay-by near them at the moment, so I feel like I'm stalking them.
Okay, I have to go. Also, lovely chatting.
I love being on time. Oh, is this the bit where you love to hang up first?
And yeah, it's like a thing. And
we're like the opposite of like a love-struck couple, where they're like, "No, you hang up. No, you hang up," and we're racing to like be the first. Bye. Oh dear, but thank you for being my podcast partner. I couldn't do it without. Well, I could do it without you, but I don't want to. Oh dear, okay. You're going to cut me off now.
On that note, I'm saying goodbye.
Oh la la, bye.
Step into spring with British Garden Centre's Family Card. Our Family Card is a garden centre membership that allows you to receive weekly benefits and discounts on popular products, priority access to tickets for events like our famous Christmas launches, member-only shopping events, exclusive competitions and so much more. To sign up, all you need to do is nip into your local British Garden Centre to pick up a Family Card, and then most importantly, you need to register it online at britishgardencentres.com/family card. Don't forget to scan it every time you shop in-store to be entered into our monthly scan and win competitions. We can't wait for you to join our family.
The music for the Plant-Based podcast is part of the song Grow by Mikey James, and our editor is Gareth Patch of Semi Echo.